Yo, what's wrong, everybody? Welcome back to another video. I'm Balboa. In this video, I have you guys a trading value tier list for Project Slayers Update 1.5. This video has every item currently tradable in the game ranked from the lowest value to the highest value. So if you guys enjoy the video, like, subscribe. My current goal is 5,000 subscribers. I appreciate everyone who has subscribed in the last few days. I've gotten like 1.2k subs in the last few days, so I appreciate all that. And also join my Discord down below. I'm hosting 2 giveaways for 600 members and also 4k subs. So if you're interested in that, just join the Discord and subscribe. I might be live again later today. Haven't really decided, but I'll let you guys know in the Discord. But yeah, let's get right on to the video. Alright, so yeah, this is the tier list. As you guys can see, I already filled up 2 of the slots because it would just be a boring video me filling out why uncommons are pretty much worth nothing and why these are just used for ads. I'll go over the ads real quick, at least ones of importance that you should pay attention to. So, the lilies, when, and the straw hat do have specific values to certain people. So ore is really only good if you have a lot of it. If you only have one ore, it's pretty much worth nothing. When is pretty much the same way. Lilies, a lot of people want them right now to level up the puller set. Nobody is really willing to farm for them. So that's why lilies are up here in the ads. But maybe after like a long time, they might go down. But yeah, for now they're here. And straw hat, if you're trading to a demon that doesn't already have straw hat or commando, then you could get way more value for something higher up in the tier list. But at the base value, it's pretty much just used as an ad. But yeah, now we'll be getting into C tier. This is where items start having some type of value. So the first 2 things will be the ingot for the puller and the blood one. Puller does have slightly more value, so I'm just going to put it slightly ahead of it. The next thing in here is going to be all the basic katanas. So like the insect one, the snow one, mist, wind, and then whatever other ones go in here as well. I believe these ones are the dungeon ones, so these will not be going in here. But yeah, these ones, and then flame. Now, I'm purposely leaving out the Uzui and beast ones because they do have more value than all of these ones. The next thing is going to be, I believe, school claws. This is the dungeon claws. They do have some value, but nothing really too crazy. And then the next thing is going to be the basic scythe. For some reason, people still want to get the normal scythe. I don't know the exact reason why. I think people are just buying the normal scythe for cheap and then trading it up to metal scythe just to get a little bit extra value. The next thing is going to be the Yadagarasu mask. This is a drop rate mask. A lot of people want this, but it doesn't really have too much value. The next thing is going to be the beast blades. These are the highest value other than the Uzui blades of katanas. But even then, it's still like not crazy value. Then the next thing is going to be metal scythe. Metal scythe is going to be the top C tier. A lot of people want it because you have to have the metal scythe to turn it into the puller scythe. Now B tier. This is where items start getting kind of expensive, and I would say if you have any of these, I would trade them because yeah, you can have some value in here. So the first thing is going to be all the dungeon katanas except for volcanic, because volcanic does have the highest value. And then I'll be putting skull claws or bone claws. I don't know exact one these are, but pretty much the Mutant Train claw drops is gonna go right after all these, and then the volcanic sword because it does have the highest value. The next thing is actually going to be the Devour Mask. Some people do want this, but it doesn't have like crazy value to compare to the rest of the items that are remaining. And then the next thing is actually going to be the War Fans. Now, a lot of people are overpricing the War Fans because not everybody has it, but at its base value, it's still worth less than everything here so far. Now, the last thing in B tier is going to be the Stool Scythe. This is the Mutant Train Scythe drop. Everyone wants this because you can turn it into the Devour Scythe. It pretty much just has a lot of value and is super rare, so that's why everyone pretty much wants it. That's why it's the top of B. Now, A tier and up is pretty much where items start getting a lot of value. So at the bottom of A tier is going to be the Polar Mask. The Polar Mask is really good. It's, I believe, still the best mask in the game. A lot of people want it, but everything else here is pretty much more. That's why it's going to be the bottom of A tier. Now, the next thing is going to be all the polar weapons. The fans are going to be the least valuable ones because they are the easiest ones to get. The next thing is going to be the katana. Once again, pretty much for the same reason, the scythe is just a little bit harder to get. Now, if you are trading to the right person that wants the katana very much, then yeah, the katana can be higher, but at the base values, this is what it looks like. Now, the next thing is going to be the Doma drop. So the Doma top and bottom is going to be right above this. The Doma top and bottom are a lot of trade value. If you have them, I highly recommend trading it, and they do have quite a high demand right now. Now, the next thing is going to be the upgrade materials. I believe Living Flesh and the Orb Glacier. This has a lot of demand right now because you need it to upgrade your devour items and your polar items. I don't know how many of these you need, but yeah, you do need these, and they are only for Mutant Train and really rare, so everybody pretty much wants these right now. Now the next thing is going to be the devour weapons. These are a bit harder to get, and just more people want them than the polar ones. The scythe is obviously going to be the most valuable one because you actually need a steel scythe to get it. Now the next thing is going to be the polar top and bottom, because all of the armors do have more value than the weapons. But yeah, this is currently like the best armor in the game, so everybody wants this, everyone's going for it. The only thing that makes the Devour set worth more is the fact that it's actually only for Mutant Train. If it was just a normal like Udawara drop, then it would pretty much be right here as well. Then the last thing in A tier is going to be the Uzui Blades. If you have Uzui Blades, you can trade for pretty much anything below. I've traded Uzui Blades for like the polar top and a weapon pretty easily. So yeah, Uzui Blades are going to be the top of top of A tier. Now S tier, this is where items start getting super expensive. So the first things are going to be ROBUX items. So the Tendon Uniform and the Rengoku Haori are going to be right here, and then Nezuko Box. Actually, Nezuko Box, no matter how like rare it actually is, doesn't have that much value compared to the rest of the stuff here, the Mutant Train drops and the champion stuff. So yeah, now the next thing that will finish off S tier is going to be the Devour top and bottom. This has super high demand right now, a lot of value. You could pretty much trade just the Devour top for like Uzui Blades and probably the full polar set, in my honest opinion. I've seen people do that before. But yeah, pretty much just a lot of value. Everyone's going for it and everyone wants them. Now SSS, this is going to be the highest value items in the game. So first, the Mutant Train drop. So Enmu is actually going to be worth more than Octasa because people want the drop rate and XP a bit more than damage. And honestly, nobody really uses the Octasa stuff anymore, like to actually equip it. Most people just want it because it looks nice, because the polar and devour stuff is actually better. And then yeah, the top of the tier list is obviously going to be the champion stuff. Hardly anyone has this, and it's going for pretty much just the most value in the game at the moment. But yeah, this is pretty much the tier list, so I'll go over it one last time. So for the ads, or if you have a lot of it, it could be worth really anything on this tier list. It just depends how much you have. Lilies, if you have like 400, you could probably trade for anything in S tier or A tier. When, if you have like 150k, you could probably trade for most of the lower stuff in A tier. And then the straw hat, it really just depends. I've seen people trade straw hat for like the war fans, but that's just because some people really want the straw hat, because for most people, just immunity to the sun has more value than pretty much anything on this tier list. C tier, the only things that are really worth of value are going to be the Metal Scythe, the Beast Katanas, and the Yatagarasu Mask. If you have a lot of the materials, then the materials should be something as well. B tier, pretty much only these 4 items have value, so the School Scythe, the War Fans, the Vara Mask, and Volcanic Katana. This is pretty much the only thing people are trading right now. A tier, if you have Uzui Blades, you'd probably trade for most of this stuff. And then Orb Glacier and Living Flesh do have a lot of value if you have a lot of them as well, because everyone needs them. And then S tier, pretty much self-explanatory. If you have extra robots lying around and you just want a bunch of trading value, then I would recommend buying the Rengoku Haori. I wouldn't buy the Nezuko bots because it doesn't have that much value compared to like the 5k robots that it costs to buy it. And then yeah, Devour top and bottom is worth a lot. And then SSS is pretty self-explanatory. Everything here is worth a lot. So yeah, this is the final tier list. A lot of top traders in the game helped me make this tier list. So if you're wondering how authentic it is, I would say this is probably as close as you're gonna get to the official tier list for Project Slayers Update 1.5. So if you guys enjoyed the video, like, subscribe. My current goal is 5,000 subscribers. I will have a separate video explaining how I actually trade. That will probably be a bit of a longer video, and it'll be a full guide going through the trading discords and all that. But yeah, that's it for this video. If you guys enjoyed, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.